Welcome, lords and ladies, back to the realm. I am your humble host, the Goat King, and today, fresh off the press, we have the Starfinder 2nd Edition playtest rules. Now, onto the Kasatha. Steeped in the ancient traditions of a distant homeworld orbiting a dying star, Kasathas are four-armed humanoids who arrived in the Pact Worlds aboard a massive world ship named Adari. Striving for cosmic balance in all things, Kasathas take pride in tempering their technological advances with the wisdom of their ancestors. This art's really nice. It's got a samurai feel, I feel like, with the armor, but I do like this art. Anywho, 8 hit points, medium, 25 foot speed. They've got boosts and flaws. They've got languages. They're humanoid. Kasathas. They are four-armed. You have 4 arms, which allows you to wield and hold up to 4 hands worth of weapons and equipment. At any time, 1 pair of hands is designated as your active hands. You can change this designation from 1 pair of hands to another by taking the Switch Active Hands action, which is a single action. You can only perform actions with your active hands. For more information, see page, yada yada yada. We'll get to that eventually. Probably not in this video, but we'll get to it. Okay, for their heritages, we have Akitonian. You, or one of your ancestors, traveled to the Pact Worlds on the Adari and settled on Akiton. Akiton's significantly lower gravity grants you an advantage in the fun and practical art of leaping, and you likely revel in the many rituals surrounding the desert world's popular sports. You gain the quick jump feat and don't treat sand as uneven ground. Kasatha Survivalist, you and your ancestors were among those who chose not to abandon your dying homeworld. Ooh. Your people trek through wasted lands under dim skies, seeking shelter and resources even as they slowly dwindle. You may have finally decided to seek a better life, or perhaps you hope to convince others to return to Kasatha with you. You can hustle twice as long while exploring before you have to stop. If you're in a group that is hustling, you increase the total number of minutes the group can hustle by 10 minutes, or by 20 minutes if you're 13th level or higher. You gain the Feather Step feat. Shipborne. You were one of the Kasathas born and raised on the Adari generation ship that now orbits the Pact World's sun. Your family kept hope and tradition alive while enduring the hardships of lengthy space travel. For you, the Adari is the only home you've ever known. When you roll a success on a saving throw against an emotion effect, you gain a critical success instead. Stellar Nomad. You choose to travel abroad, leaving your birthplace to embark on a journey through the wider cosmos. During your daily preparations, you can study a particular faction, philosophy, ancestry, or religion to learn one of their edicts or anathemas, and gain a broader understanding of that culture's customs and traditions. While you follow that edict or anathema, you become trained in the associated lore, such as Vesk lore or Damaratosh lore. This proficiency lasts until you prepare again. Since this training is temporary, you can't use it as a prerequisite for character options, yada yada. Tempering. You are undergoing your tempering, a coming-of-age ritual in which a Kasatha rejects the formal traditions of their family and experiences other customs and traditions. You may be one of the untempered, a Kasatha who chooses to continue their tempering. Beyond the traditional year-long period, you become trained in society and gain the streetwise feat. Ancestry feats. Calm before the storm. You maintain a calm demeanor even when facing mortal peril. At the end of your turn, reduce your frightened condition by 2 instead of 1. That's nice. Natural Grace as a free action once per day, triggered on a failed acrobatics check or reflex saving throw. You have almost supernatural control of your movements, which can sometimes save you in dangerous situations. All hands on deck, free action once per day. You are able to focus on your coordination for a brief moment until the beginning of your next turn. You count 1 additional pair of hands as your active hands, At the beginning of your next turn, choose which set of active hands remains active. So this is like once per day, you get to use all 4 of your hands as active hands. And it's a free action, so it's not eating into your actions. I'll have to play with a character that has more than 2 limbs to see how this kind of thing really feels. But, yeah. And reliable grace. You have exceptional control over your body. You can use natural grace once per hour rather than once per day. What did natural grace do? Okay, that was the fortune bonus to acrobatics checks or reflex saving. That's a bit late to get an upgrade for that, but I mean, fair enough. Thank you again for visiting the realm. I have been your humble host, the Goat King, and as always, travel with loyal companions.